welcome to the 10 and 2 podcast. I'm Kat.
And I'm Catlin.
And we're here every week talking watches, photography, adventure, and exploring the world of horology.
How are you, Kat?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Doing good. Excited for today's episode.
I am too. Like, really excited.
Yeah, this one we've we pushed back a little bit, but only because we had the watches so long. So, yeah. I mean,
like we have a lot of experience with these watches.
We do. And yeah, we're excited. So these are the Seiko Prospex Street Series, the SNE 545 and 547, which is the white and the green dial variant.
Yes.
And we were, blessed that Seiko sent these in to us for a little while, and we're excited to give you guys our thoughts on them.
I know, for sure.
We were I think we initially wanted the Arnie, and then I ended up getting an Arnie anyway. So we're like, okay, well, let's get something else. Like, what else can we get? Because Seiko's been on a roll. Like, they've been putting out stuff.
It's nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely insane. And there's not a lot that they've put out this year that I've been like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think that they've been really consistent at putting out some really amazing pieces. And I'm loving this whole series, the street safari kind of series that they're doing I think it's very youthful.
I think it's it appeals to the younger crowd as well. Because a lot of these are dive watches that, if we're being honest, teenagers and the younger crowd doesn't really care for necessarily. But yeah, these are just cool.
Yeah, for sure. They make it, perfect for kind of everybody to wear. 100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to kind of jump into it?
Yeah. Well, so before we get into the review, let's do this. Everybody, I feel like if you are into watches, you've had a Seiko at some point. Whether you have one now, whether you started with one, even if you started with something nicer, odds are you've gotten a Seiko. So, Kat, what was your first Seiko watch?
My first Seiko is actually my first automatic watch, which was the SKX 013.
And you got your husband one too, right?
My husband got
you got matching.
Well, he got the field watch, the SN, I don't know, whatever, SNE. I can't remember all the reference numbers.
All the numbers.
But he got the more field watch, the big 42 millimeter, and I got the smaller dive watch. Yeah. And I've been hooked to Seiko ever since, for sure.
And now you have the Arnie or the Safarni, right?
I have too many. I do have the Safarni, and I also have the King Turtle as well, the new King Turtle.
And you still have that original Seiko too, right?
No. Yeah, I don't have it anymore.
Ooh.
I've gone back and forth the SKX, and it's funny because our friend Josh posted about it this week. It's one of these watches you just go back and forth on.
Yeah.
It's I bought it, and then I didn't wear it, and then when you get rid of it, you want it again. It's a hate-love. It's not really hate. I don't hate the watch. I love it, but I just wasn't wearing it. And then now it's gone, and I see it, and I want it again.
They're such cool watches.
They're so cool. I love Seiko.
Even if you don't, first of all, I love that. I love all the mods people do to them. I think it's so cool that you can take this watch and make it completely your own. And it's such a cool way to do something different. But even just in and of themselves, they're so iconic.
Yeah.
It's one of those watches that's recognizable just as much as a Submariner is. And when you consider the price difference, I mean, it's really cool.
Well, there's even been, Bond has worn, a Submariner. He's worn an Omega, but Bond has also worn Seiko, which is really cool. And actually, the Seiko we're talking about today, the Tuna, not this particular reference, obviously, but he has worn one in the past, which is awesome. I think. And you actually have a couple Seikos.
I do. So I have my very first Seiko. I didn't start out with Seiko. I didn't pick up a Seiko until maybe about 2.5 years ago. And that was the Orange Samurai.
Yeah.
And I just got it because it was
cool
for me. Well, it was the situation that had come up for me to get it. It just made sense to get it. A friend of mine got it, and for a gift or something like that, at an office party. And he's an Alabama fan, and it's a very orange Tennessee kind of color.
Can't have this.
Yeah, so basically, I bought dinner and drinks one night, and that was my payment for this watch.
We're both football fans. I'm not such a football fan that I completely discount an entire color because of a team.
But orange is such a specific color anyways. As much of a Tennessee fan as I am, orange is still a color.
I know, but you love that Doxa you had, and it's super bright orange as well.
Fair, yeah.
So I think,
fair. I don't know that I would discount a color. Yeah, I guess that's true. But also, Southern football rivalries are strong.
It's real strong.
Yeah. Like I guarantee I wouldn't buy a watch that was like mostly crimson colored. Or like I look at some watches sometimes, like the Omega, the Good Planet Edition that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it had a blue ceramic bezel, blue dial, and then it had orange numerals inside there. And I was like, freaking Florida Gators.
Yeah.
That's all I saw every time I looked at that watch was Florida Gators. And I'm like, nope.
It's ruined forever.
We'll never like this watch. I mean, yeah, that's just how it is. So it is what it is. So that's how I got my Orange Samurai. And then I have Tyler. Well, I guess it's Tyler's watch, but it sits in my watch box. A friend of mine sent him a modded SKX that he had gotten in on a trade or something like that.
Yeah.
Tyler doesn't wear it too much. He's not really into like the overly sporty watches right now. His tastes just kind of come and go, as I guess any teenagers do. Yeah. So I wear it a little bit more than he does. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing about Seiko is there's truly something for everybody, and I love what Seiko does for the community. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people first get into watches with Seiko, and they're not a bad watch to get into at all. No. Like, I mean, the quality, it's great for what it is. And it really. It develops a passion in people, and I love that. Like, I love having, people come into where I work who are wearing Seikos and wanting to look at something else. And I think it's really cool how they get into the hobby through one brand. It seems like it's like the gateway brand.
It definitely is a gateway brand because it is on the more affordable range on the lower end, and
they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're available. That's the thing. You can go to a Macy's, you can go to Kohl's. Yeah. You can find Seiko and try them on. And you can't say that about some of the other brands that we talk about on the show. But yeah, it's a brand that I'm still passionate about, even more now than I was when I first got into the hobby. And I certainly have pieces that are on the higher end of things, but I still really, really love wearing my Seikos.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, so let's get into the two Seikos that we have right now. So the S&E 545 and the S&E 547. Kat, do you want to go over some of the specs on these pieces?
Sure do.
Thanks, because I didn't write them down.
Well, I took some measurements today, and I'll read you what I got, which is essentially, what Seiko has listed. A couple of them are a little different. So the measurements that I got from the watch using our calipers that are, super high quality. They were like $8 on Amazon, but it's digital, so it's got to be right. Right.
We'll just go with
I hope it is. I thought about that after. I was like, man, maybe I should have got just like a manual caliper and just.
But the manual ones, because that's what I use sometimes.
You have to really
look, they're a little hard to read sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so. So the case measured for me at 46.5. Seiko has it listed at 46.7, and then 12.7 millimeters thick and a 45.3 lug to lug, which is always kind of important. And really the reason why this watch wears so well, because you look at the specs, you're like, ooh, 46 millimeter watch. This should wear huge. It doesn't. For some reason, it doesn't.
This watch is we've said it before. Seiko is magic when it comes to making things fit on your wrist. I don't know what they do. And we'll talk about the way it fits a little bit better. But yeah, that lug to lug, when I measured it while you were downstairs. And I could not believe that. And then it makes sense. So,
and then this is a solar watch. So, it's powered by the sun, and on a full charge, it will give you 10 months, which is amazing. You could charge this in the summer while you're outside a lot, and you've got a full charge all through winter into the next year, which I really like.
For sure.
Screw down crown. They use Lumibrite for the hands and the markers. There is a silicone strap that these are both fitted with, which is extremely comfortable. And it's, of course, water resistant, 200 meters, and it does meet the ISO standard. So this is a complete dive watch. But yeah, I think that's about it. And then they come in at $450, which is very, very well priced for this watch. And I think we'll talk about the value here in a little bit, but I think that's a great price for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So now the fun part.
Our questions. The questions. Not all the facts are ever. These are just our opinions, y'all. Don't come at us, whatever. I feel very justified in all of my opinions. I'm never wrong. So never ask anybody. Just kidding.
No, yeah, we ask ourselves 5 questions about the watch, and we'll go through these. And I think we might be switching some stuff up on our questions. We've asked our audience before, but if you think there's a better fitted question, because I think for me there's two that could kind of be combined. But if you have something in mind, send us a DM, send us an email, and let us know if we're missing something really important.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like we cover a lot of the basics though. At least what I would ask myself.
And that's the whole thing. Like because at the end of the day, we have this podcast. I guess now we're technically considered media, but I don't know.
I don't know. I just makes you laugh.
But we're enthusiasts first. So like we buy watches, we collect watches. So, when we do these reviews, it's really important for us we sat down and we asked, what would we want to hear?
What's our criteria?
Seeing specs or hearing specs is nothing. That and we're doing an audio podcast on a watch review.
Yeah.
So really diving into what Kat and I personally look for in a watch is definitely what was
and
more
if
important.
This is your first time listening to one of our watch reviews, and you've listened to a couple maybe, and you notice we're really positive about these watches, it is because we only get watches in that we actually like. So we're never really too harsh. I don't think there's any that there's been none that we don't like, because I mean, frankly, we're only gonna play around with a watch we like. So
yeah, I mean, and a lot of that just comes to our personality too.
Yeah.
We're just not negative people. So and I don't want to, at the end of it, I don't want to diss something somebody's
even
worked
if it's
so hard
something
on.
like super hot at the moment. If we just don't like it, we're not going to review it.
Yeah, sorry y'all. If you were looking for a particular watch, that might be why.
Which is not that many, because we like a lot. So we like too much.
Way too I know. My wallet says we like way too much. Okay, to the review though.
Yeah.
So the SNE 545, which is the white with the black, silver, and red, and then the SNE 547, which is the green, black,
and red, reddish orange.
Yeah,
it's like right on the border.
It's like it's not quite.
The white is definitely red, but the green has like that red orange color.
Yeah, which matches much better in my opinion too.
For sure.
Okay, so let's get into our questions. So the first question that we ask ourselves is, what is our favorite and least favorite feature on the watch? Kat, you are up first. What's your favorite feature?
So this time around, I didn't go with anything that was part of the aesthetics of the watch. So my favorite thing about this watch is honestly how comfortable it is on the wrist.
Yeah.
And it's so lightweight. I was honestly just shocked. And I guess I didn't really think about the fact that it is a solar quartz watch, but I mean, you literally forget that it's on your wrist.
Yeah.
And I know we say that quite a few times with some of the watches we've had, but in the strap, everything just kind of combined together. It is incredibly comfortable. So that is my favorite thing about the watch. What about you?
My favorite thing is actually so for the Tuna design here, there's this outer case that I believe is plastic. And I love this outer case, and I've seen love or hate of it online, and I could see why, but I just think it's super cool. It adds this whole design element to the watch that's absolutely incredible. It makes it so much more unique than any other Tuna diver that's out there, really. It's in plastic, I believe. They don't specify anywhere, but it does feel like plastic.
Yeah.
And it has this really nice matte finish, so it kind of feels a little textured too. Yeah. So I really like the way that it ties in. So like I spent more time with the 545, so the all white, and I love that it just ties in the white of the strap into moving into the dial, because I feel like if you just had like a regular steel case on it just wouldn't flow as well, especially because you have that bezel that's like 3/4 of the way steel, and then it has like a black insert as well. I just think that it's really cool. Yeah, I loved it.
I agree. I think that Seiko hasn't really always been known to play around with colors, and I think they are now, and they really can with this series because of that, the shroud. Which leads me into my least favorite thing, which is that...
Are you going to come at
No, I'm not coming at you, because I get why you like it, and it protects the watch. I mean, that's why they originally put it there.
Yeah.
But for me, on this specific reference we had, I don't like it because it is plastic. And or if it's not Seiko, please reach out to us and let us know. We could not find any information online. Now, I know in previous models, the higher end models, they make them out of titanium. So it's probably going to seem like a bulkier, heavier watch. With this being plastic, I don't know. It gave me a little bit of a cheap feel that I didn't love about the watch. But that being said, that plastic makes this watch lightweight, which is my favorite thing. So it's kind of a love-hate thing with it. What is your least favorite thing?
I had to get extra nitpicky.
Yeah.
Like,
and I did too. Like,
nitpicky.
that's not something that would keep me from buying the watch.
Yeah, 100%. The strap, not the strap because of the texture or because of the feeling of it, because it like these are the most comfortable straps ever. Comfortable. It's the length, and this is the same struggle I have with my Orange Samurai.
I have it
Seiko
with
straps,
my Safari,
right, with your Safari and with the King Turtle.
Yeah,
Seiko straps are too long. And it would be really nice if Seiko would at least offer it online.
Yeah.
I'll pay extra because Lord knows I ordered the black strap for my Samurai. I ordered it like on Amazon or eBay or something like that. And it was like $15-$20.
The one that does fit you?
No, it doesn't fit me.
Oh.
I cut one down because I didn't want it to be too long.
See, I'm scared to cut mine.
I know, but I hate that extra flap.
Yeah.
So even if they charge $15-$20 on the Seiko website for a short version, I would pay that because I really don't like that extra flap of strap. To me, it takes away from the aesthetic of it all.
Yeah.
And then it just makes me feel like I'm wearing a watch that wasn't designed for me. And I don't like that. And again, this is nitpicking because honestly, like, I didn't expect to like these watches as much as I did. So I am like really desperate and looking for something to say that I don't like.
Yeah, I see your point, and I feel the same way. Like, the straps on my Safari and the King Turtle are very long. However, I know that it is a dive watch and it's probably made to go over a wetsuit. So I know that there's extra length there. I know.
Seiko knows that 99.8% of the consumers that are buying dive watches are desk diving.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah.
Offer a shorter strap.
I think you're right. Having the availability to offer something separately is a good idea.
I'm not saying make the strap short. Yeah. No, because I get that. I get that for it to be certified, dive watch certified, it needs to be able to fit over a wetsuit. So I get why it would be sold this way.
Yeah.
But put a $20 strap on your website.
And people have asked me a lot about the comfort of the strap. Some people say it comes out a lot from the keeper. Personally, I've not had an issue with mine on my wrists. It is long, but it still wears very comfortable. I don't have an issue with it like sliding out. But that's a good point. Yeah. Very good, valid point.
Thank you.
All right. So,
because I'm always right, remember?
You are always right.
I hope people know that.
Or joking.
Like, I'm joking, and I really don't think that highly of myself.
They're like, dang.
They're like, man, she's a real, like, a B word. Like how I censor that too.
I know.
Okay.
All right, so next question, which is, how versatile do you think this watch is on a scale from 1 to 10?
Okay, this is a sports watch. Let's just be, I mean, it's definitely a sports watch. And that means that it's not even like a stainless steel blue dial sports watch. It's like versatility, like a 3 out of 10, maybe a 4. Yeah. It's not supposed to be though. This is the watch that you're wearing a particular outfit, and that's why you grab this watch. Like if I were wearing just jeans and a t-shirt, this would definitely be a watch that I'm going for quite often. But that's not what I wear most of the time. For me, it's not super versatile, but again, it's not designed to be versatile. Yeah. So I understand that. I hate like ranking it so low, but I also know why it has to be ranked so low.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree with that. I gave it a 5 out of 10 for me. Again, just because it's super casual and it's not meant to be dressed up. It's not that kind of watch. Yeah. There are divers offered by Seiko that definitely can be, but this is not one of them.
For sure.
All right. That was easy.
Yeah, that was super easy. Okay, so do you think that the watch suits its designated purpose?
I do. Because, like we just mentioned, it's a dive watch, and that's what it does great. It's very easy to read. Loom is fantastic because Seiko just does loom. They are just the best.
Why does nobody else do loom like Seiko loom? I'm so confused.
I mean, other people do. Like, don't get me, like my tutor's really good.
But why don't a lot of other people?
I know.
Maybe why don't the majority of other brands do loom like Seiko.
Yeah.
I just don't understand
We've had so many watches in, and it's always surprising to me to see, you know, a higher price point on a watch. It's very well made. It's high quality, but then it just sucks on the loom. And I'm like, well, dang, that's very disappointing, because I like it. I like walking in from outside in a dark room, and I like seeing my watch lit up. I also like seeing it on my bedside table. Do I always read it? No, but I want it, right? But again, that's just, it's one of the things Seiko does really well. I think, you know, as far as like who this watch is designed for, anyone that wants a sports watch. I think it's great for the person just getting into the hobby that maybe wants a really cool diver, but not really is ready for a mechanical watch. Like the Solar is a great option.
Oh, for sure.
It's a great option for ladies. I think the white version really works well for ladies. It fits our smaller wrists. I think you could even wear it on a smaller wrist than ours.
Oh, yeah.
And now my only concern with this being a dive watch is the bezels were really, really easy to turn. That's not always a good thing, because if you're underwater and you accidentally bump it, if it moves, again, you're only going to go for like a shorter amount of time in the water. But it's just, I didn't like that they were like, I don't know. Yeah, there was a little bit too much fluidity. Yeah, in the bezel itself. There wasn't play like.
Now that being said, these are the two watches that we have. They are press pieces, so like these have been around.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll give them like the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So we don't know for sure, and that's just very natural in watches. I mean, these have been shipped all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll give them that benefit of the doubt. But I will say, even in a regular, like in my Samurai, I think that's one thing with Seiko divers is that you definitely have a little bit of play.
My turtle's not that way, and the Safari's not that way. Just with these, I noticed it was just really, really fluid. And so I would have liked there to be a little bit of a tighter tolerance there to the bezel. But that being said, it's got a nice click to it. I do like it.
Nice loud click. Yeah, I like a loud clicking bezel.
Same.
It's an adult fidget spinner.
So what about you? Do you feel like this watch suits its designated purpose?
I mean, it definitely does. It's everything that you would want in a dive watch. I think it's the watch for somebody who wants to get into a nicer watch, but also wants to kind of blend in the fashion aspect of it. I think that's what Seiko is doing really well with the Street series and with the Safari series and these new watches, is that they're getting into fashion watches, and like it's okay.
That's not a bad thing.
But it's not the same as like your Daniel Wellington or your Movement or like anything like that. Like these are still, really amazing quality pieces from a brand with a ton of history. But they're just having fun with it. And I love seeing that. I love seeing that they're okay with doing that, because I think that there's such like a stigma around this idea of being a good watch house and making a fashion watch.
Yeah.
Because of these other brands that I mentioned. So not that, I mean, teacher, if that's your style, your brand, that's fine. It's just not mine. So I like that they're playing and that they're doing something a little bit more fun, a little bit more kind of edgy too.
Well, yeah, they're taking their designs, which are theirs, and they're creating something that is for everyone, and not just that Seiko-holic. It's for the person that's not into watches that looks at that and is like, oh, I dig that.
Looks good.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the fact that it says Seiko on it. It has nothing to do with the movement inside it.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
And that's why you buy this watch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about value. So $450 is how much this watch costs at retail. Do you feel like the S&E 545 and the 547 are a good value?
I do. I absolutely do. I think this is priced right where it should be. Just with the quality, the strap, everything kind of coming together, the fact that it is a solar watch and the person's not really going to have to worry about it. This is a watch I would maybe gift someone that is wanting to get into the hobby, a kid or a teenager or something like that too. As far as I know, we usually kind of compare watches. The only thing I can compare it to is other watches in Seiko's catalog. The Safari, which is about $100 more expensive. There is a Citizen Eco Drive, which is kind of their own technology. The Pro Master dive watch comes in at $220. Not as stylish, in my opinion. Not as cool, but it's another option, a little bit cheaper. But yeah, that's about it. Because I think its competitors are are itself.
Basically.
Because they make so many watches.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you?
So I think it's very fair. A lot of the reasons you said, I mean, for the solar power, it's right on par with what Seiko charges for this kind of watch. So I can totally respect that and get behind that. You know, I think I wouldn't say that this is the Seiko that you get as a beater, because otherwise I would just say, well, you could compare it to G-Shock, you know, if you're looking for a beater watch. But it's not like, if you were going to get a beater watch as a Seiko, there are tons of other options. Probably not this that you would really pick up. This is seriously the watch that you wear because you really like this watch. It's not the watch that you would wear because you want to watch specifically for messing around in the garden or something like that. That being said, at $450, you know, you can definitely move into, there are some really great mechanical options too at this price point, especially when you look at micro brands. Notice who I have several of their watches. You know, they offer some really cool pieces that are a little bit funky and more edgy as well at this sort of price point. So doing something in a micro brand realm, but again, you're looking at a totally different design. I think that as far as the strap, the case design, everything else, I think that Seiko just kind of owns this, honestly.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so would this be a watch that in your collection would get regular wear? And what is your overall thoughts of the piece?
Yes.
Kind of tied into that.
100% yes. Like, I really like this watch.
Oh, and I do too.
I didn't think I would. Y'all, all the watches is a real struggle.
They're going to be like, oh, these girls, they just like everything.
No, but like, y'all.
We like these a lot.
I like this so much. They're so, I can't fully explain how comfortable it is. And it's almost 46, it's 47 millimeters basically.
Essentially.
Okay. And it should not fit on the wrist very well. But the way that like there's almost no lugs on the watch at all anyway.
And the thing too is like, it doesn't look like a dinner plate when you have it on.
No, it's not even that it feels comfortable. It looks good on the wrist. It doesn't look like something that's it looks smaller than my Planet Ocean does. And my Planet Ocean is 42 millimeters. Yeah. So like, it looks great. It wears great. It's cool as hell. It's comfortable. Oh my gosh. Like, this has to be possibly the most comfortable watch I've worn. Honestly, as far as comfort, I would put it up there with the full metal G-Shock on the resin straps.
Oh yeah.
Because so as far as like a weight comparison, I would say those are very similar.
Yeah.
I really think that those are fairly similar.
I think the Seiko is still lighter. Yeah.
But like the comfort and everything else I'd put right there. It's the watch that you forget that you're like, I feel my Apple Watch more than I felt like this watch here. Yeah. Possibly because the Apple Watch vibrates and this one doesn't. But y'all know what I mean. Yeah, I like it. I think Seiko knocked it out of the park. It's so fun and just kind of funky, but it's not too funky. And sorry, y'all. I need a nap.
Are you struggling? She's struggling really hard not to yawn.
I was yawning so much right before we recorded this episode. I don't know why.
I'm really proud of you.
I'm blaming the pizza.
We got all pepped up when we started talking about Seiko.
But yeah, it's cool, and I love the solar power. There's such a convenience to it, and to not have to worry about, you know, picking up a watch and winding it and dealing with it, you know, and I love that. I love that relationship that you have with your watches. I genuinely do. But sometimes I just want to grab something, go, and not have to worry about it. Yeah. And this is that watch. And the white, the SNE 545 is so good, y'all. Yeah, like, really, I know Kat likes the green one.
I do like the green one, but I think if I were to buy one, I would go for the white.
Really, really consider buying this watch. Like, I have really considered buying this. No, shut up. No, I can't. Like, y'all, don't start sending me DMs. I'm not doing it. I have to stop buying watches. But
I'm actually honestly surprised that I haven't seen more of these out there.
Yeah, why not?
It doesn't seem to be, at least around our watch community circle. Maybe they are popular with other people that aren't in the watch community. But yeah, I haven't seen too many of these references at all, but I do like them.
Yeah. So what about for you? Would this be something that you would wear consistently if you had it in your collection? Would it last in your collection?
Yeah. I mean, I think aesthetically it's very similar to the Safari that I have, but again, you have a different color system, and they wear a little bit smaller than my Safari does, a little bit lighter, but the comfort level is still pretty much about the same. Yeah, this would actually be a watch I feel would last a while in my collection because I tend to lean towards those things that are a little bit different, a little bit more polarizing, and this watch kind of fits into that category. It's incredibly lightweight, and even if you're not someone that wants to use it as a dive watch, this is a great watch for hiking, for mountain biking, doing some of those sports that you like to do, and you want to have something a little more stylish on the wrist than a G-Shock.
Yeah.
So I would say it's great for those type of people, and it's just a knockout for Seiko. Another knockout because they keep doing really cool stuff. And yeah, it's hurting my wallet because I want to buy all of them, and I can't. I'm really happy.
The Seikos is
I'm really
be a problem.
yeah. Ooh, what if they made a white Safari?
Stop.
Oh.
Or no, stop.
That would be so good.
No, Seiko, if you are listening, do not do it. I cannot. I can't.
My only gripe, and this I didn't list it as a negative, but like on these straps, they have ridges down the strap.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the white over time, if it would get kind of grimy and nasty. Of course, you can, I'm sure, clean it. But I do worry about that with any white strap. It's just it kind of turning color.
But I feel like again that comes more to the fashion side of it. And like if I'm wearing a white shirt, I'm not gonna do things that like I'm potentially gonna spill a bunch of stuff on it.
It's true.
And I would be the same way with this. Like if I were going to, I don't know, like if I were going out to play paintball or something like that, this would not be the watch that I wear. Like, or would you wear it?
I would wear it.
Would you like want it to get all painted up and super cool?
I think this is the watch you wear for those type of things.
Yeah,
all those
you just
fun
don't
activities.
Wear the white one if you don't want it to get like dirty. That's my argument here. Yeah, like it's just if you're doing like art, I don't know, arts and crafts with your kids, maybe you don't wear the white. Like just as much as you wouldn't wear like a white t-shirt or white pants.
I get it.
I don't know who wears white pants anyways. It stresses me out. I can't do it. I spill too much, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm too clumsy.
But again, I think the solar technology here is great for those people that do like to do those activities and are too scared to wear their mechanical pieces. Because I'm the same way. Like I don't want to take as much as I really want to take my like really nice watches with me, like mountain biking and stuff. I'm just too scared. So, and I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, I'm not like, unless I fall over the handlebars or something.
But I feel like this is obviously a whole other conversation we can have at any other point in time.
Yeah.
But like, especially if you're mountain biking, like all the jolting.
It is a lot of shock.
Especially
here. There's so many roots.
Like, it's called Rocky Top here for a reason. Like, there's rock everywhere. There's roots everywhere over the
it's not a smooth track.
I don't think that it would be
and I think you could, but expect your watch to start running terribly. I mean, after those type of activities. And these kind of watches, and a reason that I got the Safari was that I just didn't have to worry about that.
But apparently, like you can play tennis somewhere Richard Mille tourbillons. So
that's true. Makes me look bad now.
Okay, so that's to the Seiko. No, I totally agree. I think it's really cool, and definitely shout out to Seiko. Thank you guys thank you for sending these out to us. We really appreciate it. We had a great time kind of getting more familiar with these two particular watches.
Loved them.
Absolutely love them. Be sure to head over to our website at www.tennand2.com. We'll have pictures of all the watches and things like that, some details in our show notes. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel because there's another video coming out. And you can find that, just search for Tenn and 2. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Tenn and 2 Media. That's all.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. You're way better at the intro. We've only been doing the intro for like 10
The intro is
episodes,
also like half the length of that.
You're so good at it. Okay. All right. Well, with that, we hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.